Hey, my friends. Okay, so this is going to be a brief training on sales and three simple and powerful steps you have to keep in mind to like 10x your sales, to essentially have clients selling themselves rather than you feeling like you're continuously hitting like their objections and trying to get them to take that next step, and you're like arm twisting and all that shit that none of us like to do. So essentially there's two things that you're always going to deal with in sales. The first is the perceived value of your potential clients in terms of the value they give to your offer. So what do they feel your offer is worth? The second thing you're always going to have to deal with is their belief or lack of belief that your offer will work for them. When the payoff always feels greater than the payout and they believe that your offer will work for them, clients sell themselves and money is almost never an issue. Let me say it another way. Let me explain a little more. If your potential client sees the payoff, meaning what they get, the value of your offer, what they're going to walk away with, as bigger than the investment, which is the payout. And if they believe that your process is going to work for them, they will almost always figure out a way to find the money so that they can work with you. So they have to feel like the value of your offer is significantly higher than their investment, that what they're going to walk away with is worth a lot more than what they paid you. And they have to believe that it's going to work for them. So how do we do that? How do we create that? One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make in sales is to believe that the value of their offer is equal to the features, to what's included in the offer. And by the way, I'm so freaking guilty of that myself sometimes. Like I forget, and I will talk to people about all the one-on-one sessions they get in working with me. When the truth is, that on its own is not the value. It has no value. The value is actually what working one-on-one with me will provide them. Customization, the tailor-made strategies, the being able to deal with their unique wounds and their unique blocks. Like there's certain things that working one-on-one allows me to do that I can't do in groups. And that's what I have to talk about. It's not like what they'll walk away with essentially, and what they'll be able to accomplish working with me one-on-one is significantly more important than the fact that they're working with me one-on-one. Unless a client has done multiple group programs and they fucking hate them, and they hate that they feel like they're being told to follow the exact same protocol as everybody else, and they can't customize it for themselves, and they have already decided in here that they're done with cookie cutter group programs and that they're only going to work with someone that includes one-on-one deep dive work. In that case, then the one-on-one itself has value because they've already seen the value in it. But most clients, you're going to tell them like what's included in your offer because you know the value of it, and you're going to assume that they know the value of all these individual features, and it's not going to work. Like it's your job to essentially create that bridge and explain to the client exactly what they're going to walk away with or what each feature provides them with that is unique. So the true value really of an offer is the lifetime transformation that they're going to receive. It is the future that your offer provides them. So this is the little thing to keep in mind. We're not selling them the features of our offer. We are selling them their future. So always feature over future. We're selling them the future that becomes possible for them by working with you. So the process of making sales feels super supportive, easeful, and expansive for everyone involves 3 P's. And I've kind of brought them, I've mentioned them, and I'm going to now make them very clear for you. Your job in any sales conversation is to, one, articulate clearly in a way that directly speaks to what the person in front of you wants. You have to articulate clearly that the value of your offer is significantly higher than their original investment. And you have to do it by referring back to what they want. This is not about what you think, it's about what they think. The second thing you have to do is you have to articulate clearly why and how your offer is different from everything else that they've tried. Essentially, why is it that your offer will work for them when other programs have not? When you do that, it's going to help them expand their self-belief. When they start to see how your offer is different, how there were some missing pieces or missing components in other offers, aspects that were not addressed that needed to be addressed, and you are going to address them in your offer, then suddenly you're really helping that client expand that sense of possibility, that sense of self-belief, that sense that, oh, the expansion they seek, the future they seek, is actually possible for them, that your offer might actually work for them, even though they've had failures and disappointments in the past. And then the third step, you want to sell the future they desire, the future that becomes possible by working with you. And you want to do that first. So when you have done these 3 things, you have articulated clearly through what they're looking for, what they want, that essentially what they're going to walk away with, the payoff is significantly greater than their investment, their payout. When you have articulated clearly how your offer is different, how your offer has the missing pieces, that explains why they were not able to get results in the past, and that in some way kind of like create this sense of structure to make sure that they will get the results they want. And then you sell them the future that they desire, and you explain and let them feel, because it's an embodied process, how what they desire is possible for them by working with you. Only then, when they're literally excited, they're 3/4 of the way sold, and they start asking you for details. Please tell me more. What does it actually look like? What's the cost? What's included? Tell me more about the process of doing this work with you. Like, that's when you start to give them the features of your offer, what's included. So it's always future over features. If you jump into describing everything that's included in your offer too soon, before they're already sold, before they're anchored in expansion, before they have clarity that this is going to work for them, before they see the value of the result based on what they're going to walk away with. So if you give them the features before all of that, you will confuse them and you will overwhelm them, which will contract their nervous system. And it will bring them right back into a place of doubt and lack of belief. And here's the thing: confused overwhelm, doubtful prospects never buy. Like when somebody feels confused, when somebody feels overwhelmed, when somebody has doubt, it just feels like too big of a risk. It doesn't, honestly, it almost does not matter the price of your offer. Like even if you have your price is very very reasonable. I was going to say low, but like let's say your price is super reasonable. Somebody who doesn't clearly see the value, somebody who doesn't very clearly see how your offer is different and that feels confident that it will work for them, that they will have the support they need, and somebody who doesn't clearly anchor in the future that's possible with your help will not buy, no matter how low the cost or the investment is. So remember that it is expansion that sells. They buy the expansion they sense in you. They buy the expansion they sense in themselves as they're having this conversation with you. They buy the expansion they sense is possible by going deeper and continuing to work with you and taking this to the next level. So expansion is really the foundation of sales. And of course, it goes without saying that you have to be sold on your own offer first. Like if you would not drop the 5, 10, 25 grand on your own offer, you will not be able to sell it. Like if you are not absolutely outrageously excited about your offer and what's included and what it will do for them and how it's different, then you will have a hard time selling it to someone else. Also, if your nervous system is not anchored in that sense of expansion, when you're in the process of selling, you will struggle with bringing your client into this place of expansion because nervous systems co-regulate. They get in what is called empathic resonance. So if your nervous system is contracted, because maybe you really need the sale, or maybe you have doubts, or anything, then they will feel that contraction on some unconscious level. And they will start to contract because they're literally matching you. And a contracted person cannot sense the future that is possible for them. A contracted person cannot believe in themselves and feel confident in their potential enough to buy. A contracted person can't really grasp the true long-term transformational value of your work because they're in contraction. They're not in possibility. They're not in expansion. Now, if you come to that call anchored, like totally regulated, your nervous system is regulated, and then your energy, your brain, your nervous system is in this place of expansion, then their nervous system, through that empathic resonance, to that co-regulation, their nervous system will start to open as well. Their brain will start to fire at, like at the same, they have these thing called mirror neurons through your facial features, through your body language, through your eye contact. They will see at some totally unconscious language of the body way that you are in regulation, that you are in certainty, that you are in expansion. And everything within them will start to regulate, will start to open, will start to anchor in that expansion. And they will start to feel all the possibilities, all the excitement. Your expansion will rub off on them and will create that flow, that flow between you and them that creates that sense of possibilities of overflow for yourself and for your clients. So the essence of successful sales is always expansion. And if you remember one thing from this entire training, is that expansion sells and contraction repels. So that's my little training. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Ilsa. This is what I do. I use my 20 years of experience and my background as a psychotherapist, as an expansion expert, as a strategist to help my clients rewire their neurocircuitry and their strategy for expansion and more sales. So if you feel like your business is not as simple, as nourishing as you would like, if you sense that something inside you is blocking your ease, blocking your ability to show up powerfully, to create consistent results, then let's do something about it. Let's get together and do some expansion work. We'll work both on your neurology and your strategy to start to rewire you and your business for more. We'll take your life, your business, your leadership, your wealth to new levels. And we'll do the work we need to do to essentially repair, restore, and expand the flow. And doing all of that in resonance with and in partnership with your nervous system, with your brain, with your energetic capacity, so that you don't end up in self sabotage, in freeze, and overwhelm. So, for you and I to get started, the way I usually do this is I have a paid initial intensive. It's 90 minutes, one on one with me. It's 55% off if you're new to me. And it's essentially a way to start experiencing this work and actually creating and experiencing something very tangible in your way of shifting who you're being and what you're doing so that you can create more powerful results. Essentially, it's the work that helps you become the most peaceful and powerful force in your life and in your business. So I don't do sales calls. The way I look at it to kind of continue this conversation we've had is that because I believe that expansion sells, I believe that if people experience this work and they start to really anchor themselves in expansion and have a pathway to expansion, that they will sell themselves. So during this 90-minute intensive, we literally discover and explore what are the unique wounds and blocks that are holding you back. I show you how to unlock your nervous system, and I give you a step-by-step process that I created to essentially bring yourself and your business out of that sense of contraction back into a place of regulation, liberation, and then expansion. And then at the end, if you and I want to do some more work together, then I will give you a couple different options based on your budget, based on your goals, so that we can keep doing this work and you can keep creating that super consistent results, that easeful growth that you're looking for, and essentially that joyful, nourishing, supportive money and income that you desire. So if you go into the description of this training, there's a link and you will get all the detail. You'll get the price, you'll get exactly what we do in that 90-minute intensive. And if you are somebody who's already done an intensive with me and you're ready to like do some more work, then underneath that, you'll see a way to hop on a 25-minute call to kind of decide where we go from there. That 25-minute call, which is free, is only for people who've kind of done that initial intensive with me and know they're ready to do more work. So if you haven't done the intensive, please book the intensive directly. I usually have spots available within 10 days, sometimes within 2 or 3 days of the time that you um, you purchase. And if you have any questions, feel free to, message me, email me, connect with me in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Bye, everyone. I hope that was helpful.